from Karlsruhe Institute of Technology is an approach to data-driven process discovery in the cost estimation process of a construction company. My name is Tobias Kropp, and the co-authors were my supervisor, Kunibert Lennerts, Professor Dr. Kunibert Lennerts, and my colleague Alexander Bombeck. So I'm going to present you the underlying methodology from process mining, and also the case study we conducted to present you our major findings and also give you a conclusion and future work on the topic of data-driven process discovery in the eco industry. So actually, the idea of process mining, this is a citat from Mr. van der Aalst. The idea of process mining is to discover, monitor, and improve real processes, not assumed processes, by extracting knowledge from event logs readily available in today's information systems. So we had the research question: can process mining techniques enable valuable insights in the eco industry? And to show you what process mining is, I will present you the next slide, where you at first see a software system. So software systems in the eco industry, that could be actually any software system that is to be used, like, for example, Revit, which the colleague from before presented already. It could also be ERP systems, just document management systems, whatever. They support and control actual business processes, that are worked on in construction companies, facility management companies, and like companies from the eco industry, like architecture, engineering, construction and operation of buildings. And there are also process models. There exists like as planned process models where like the company itself, they show the workers how the actual process has to be, how the sequence of single process steps have to be actually, to like make the workers follow the correct process line. And when people work with the supporting software systems, there's a lot of data that gets logged. And that's actually right now when process mining comes into action. So there are three types of process mining. The first one is discovery. So by the event data, we can discover as-is process models instead of like the as-planned process models that exist also in the companies. We can also make conformance checks. So we see how compliant are the as-is processes, the as-happened processes with the as-planned processes. And we all do that for process enhancement. And here you see on the left side the construction company that actually has the process models that works in software system. In our case, it was the software system I2, which was used for calculation of building elements and the cost calculation of the whole building, and also to estimate the measurements of the building. And we took their data and tried to analyze it. So we did process discovery. We had like 3 different projects where we got data from. So actually here is the amount of events listed of like the 3 projects. And for one project, there were 3 different variants where we got data from. So there was a building the construction company was planning to build, and they had 3 different calculation variants for this. So there we had 3 data sets. And how do the data sets look like? Actually, they were in CSV data format, and we have like 5 different columns. We have at first a timestamp. So in one line, there was one event, and in the timestamp column, the time of the event, when the event took place, is saved. Then we have a resource, which is anonymized, but you can see just there have been different resources involved. We have a case ID and an activity. The activity says what kind of action took place, and the case ID connects the activity with a case. And one case is one building part. So for example, a window or the floor, or it could be walls in the first floor of the building. And then we have more detailed information as well. So this was actually the data we got. You could see here, we had like around 100,000 data on the whole, and I'm going to present right now by the second use case here, by the second project, what kind of findings do we have? So actually, you see, this is a really unstructured process model, but it visualizes the process that could be discovered by the event data. So we have a process start, we have a process end, and then we have like different variations how the process took place, all by like the over thousands of event data. And this is the control flow perspective. So it shows the sequence of activities. And to get some findings here, because it's not really easy to see. I mean, one finding is the process of cost calculation was really unstructured, as you can see here. But to get more clear insights, we tried to like only focus on like main activities. So I talked with the process managers, and we also had a look on like which activities were most often available in the event log. So there were like 4 activities, and here you see 100% of the activities, and also 100% of the paths that actually show the event logs with just 4 activities. And if you, for example, just concentrate on like the 80% most happened activities and 80% of the path, you can still see that there is like interaction between different activities. So there is no like linear sequence how activities took place. So all findings actually show that the cost calculation is not in a structured manner to be worked on in the company. But you can also have a look on the data from a different perspective. So here are different building parts, so different cases. And you see here, they are ordered by like the amount of activities that could be found in connection with these building parts. So you could maybe guess that here there are like there was a lot of work in connection with this building part during the calculation, because there were 56 different activities connected to it. Also, there are like, you could guess some maybe amount of like working time by the duration while the different building parts were calculated, but the event count is actually the major KPI here. Here's also start and end time, when was the first activity connected to the building part, and when was the last activity connected to the building part. This here is an organizational perspective. So as I showed before, we kind of like had a look as well on who executed the processes in an anonymized way, but you could still see here that there are like some resources, personal resources, like working on a lot of building parts. So this person, for example, has like he worked on over 2,000 building parts, while others, for example, just interacted with him. This person, for example, just interacted only with this person, which means maybe there is some controlling function or something like this. Or also here are some other workers that probably calculated, and this one here was really also supervising worker. But yeah, to concrete findings, there definitely have to be some domain knowledge to be included here as well. So actually the conclusion and the future work of our case study here was we had to arrange an extensive pre-processing of the data, because it was really unstructured and there were some problems in the data event log. So we lost a lot of data while pre-processing, and that's actually pretty bad for process mining analysis. There were still some problems concerning timestamps or multiple activities that were like one worker does one activity mainly, and the event log logged like 3 or 4 activities at the same time, which were like intermediate activities, for example. So we had like more events at the same time. So appropriate forms of logging must be implemented generally in software systems, which was like this software here, I2, basically not the case. And experts should be deeper involved so that also like the findings we have, or findings that can be made with the process mining technique, can be validated. And last but not least, it's also necessary to establish like a standardized language so that when we do an analysis, that we can compare different projects with each other, and also different companies when they work with those software systems, so that we can compare their work. And finally, you get some like information on me and also my institute. So if you have questions, feel free to reach me on email, and otherwise I'm open for questions right now. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Any questions for